Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another match reaction. This should hopefully be the last one of these video types that I have to do. We did want to stream, but we have a few technical difficulties. Hugh has installed some new Wi-Fi, people. There's been some excitement around watch-alongs. Some of you guys want to see us do watch-alongs. In order to make that happen, there's a few things that needed to happen. So that is one of them. Of course, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. We will be live tomorrow after the Arsenal and Liverpool games to discuss what that means for the Premier League title race, whatever happens there. But as of today, as for this game, for now, you'll have to put up with me just on my own in this video. So, look, I won't beat around the bush too much. Like the video, subscribe if you. I want to get into this. I want to break it down into two parts. Do the first half, then the second half, because I feel like it's the last three games have followed a certain pattern. The pattern has been maybe a slightly underwhelming first half, followed by a pretty good second half. It's maybe not worrying, but it's kind of unsettling maybe, because of the magnitude of the games we've got coming up. We've got to win them all. A sloppy start could end up costing us one time, especially if we're not on it in the second half. It puts a lot of pressure on us, but we got the job done again. 5-1. One hell of a scoreline, couple of late goals, maybe make it look a little bit kinder, but the second half, like I said, was just much better. But let's talk about the first half. Felt a bit like one of them days, didn't it? Where 20 shots in and around, something like that. I think it was high teens in the shots, like 6-7 on target, something like that. And 1-0, and it was an own goal from a shot that wasn't even going in from Haaland in the first couple of minutes. Apart from that, nothing really happened. So in terms of the first half, underwhelming, really underwhelming. Again, felt like one of those days where Luton could quite easily smash and grab and get a point, you know, get a goal, one shot, one goal. It's happened to us so many times before that it felt like it could be one of those days, but you know, you got to stick to it. Of course, we get a bit of luck going our way in the second half with the penalty as well. But in terms of the first half, there were a few penalty shouts there. I mean, there was a lot of physicality, a lot of tussling, a lot of shirt grabbing from Luton. That was the game plan, make it physical as possible. If you watch the game, you'll know that Haaland, I know we say he had two players stuck on him at all times, but he genuinely had two players stood behind him at like every single point in the game. Like, that is ridiculous. So, listen, there wasn't too much that he could have done there in terms of the players around him. I mean, De Bruyne, I want to speak about him because he was the best player by a mile in the first half. Probably should have come out with 2 or 3 assists. Or being real, Haaland didn't have much come his way, but when he did come his way, he didn't take it. Other players there as well. I mean, Alvarez is another goal scorer. Didn't have a great game today. You look at midfield partner Nunes, not really there. Doku as well in the first half was kind of a mixed bag. Got past his man a couple times, but then of course a couple of times he didn't. He's one of them sort of players. So it was a tough watch. It really was. It was a really, really tough watch in the first half. It wasn't great. But then we move on into the second half and we blow them out the water. I'll speak about the goal in a minute because that's the only real negative. But in terms of the rest of the play, I mean, I'll throw up player ratings up on screen now. A lot of standouts. A lot of standouts for me. Doku, the pick of the bunch. Could argue De Bruyne man of the match. Could argue Kovacic man of the match. But Doku for me, you know, he gets a goal and assist, wins the penalty. Like, he was so dangerous. He was all over the pitch, whether it be left or right hand side. So that's my man of the match. In terms of the rest of them, like I said, De Bruyne, excellent. Kovacic, deputising for Rodri, excellent. Do we need a signing? If we can't find one, I'm more than happy to sit with Kovacic for another season. Vardiel, again, excellent. Another absolute rocket on his weak foot. I don't know where he pulls them out from. But, I mean, he's on a roll, isn't he? So that's about where it kind of stops positives. I mean, Lewis, again, threatening positions down the right-hand side, a lot of high and wide action because that's where the space was wide, you know, inside a couple of times as well. But in terms of the goals, again, took them really well. A couple of really long passing moves. The penalty was just individual brilliance from Doku. I mean, the goal that he scored was unbelievable. You know, twisting and turning defenders inside and out. You know, pointing the calmness to find the bottom corner. That's the thing that I feel has evaded him at times this season. The calmness to just pick a corner and put it in. You know, a lot of the times he's tried to rifle it It's ended up off target, wide, high and wide, over the bar, that sort of thing. He's hit the post a couple of times. But that'll do his confidence a world of good. He's really coming into his own, Doku. The last couple of times that he's played pretty well. So, very useful tool to have. He's still not, the starting quality because of the players that are in front of him. You look at Grealish, Foden, Bernardo, those sort of players. They're still above him in the pecking order, but it's a very, very useful option to have off the bench. Again, it's another good game. And in a game where we were talking about resting players, it's great to have that option that can come in and be potentially relied upon from here on in. So that's a good one. But let's not beat around the bush. Let's go on to maybe some slight downwards topics. I don't want to say negatives because it's a 5-1 win, but I have to start off with Alvarez. I can't keep making the excuse that he's played out of position, because in my mind, in a Pep Guardiola team, unless you are one of the elite and one of the best in your positions, you do not have a set position. You play when a manager tells you to play. And Julian Alvarez is not elite. He's not the elite. He's not the bagsman number 9. He's not a Haaland where you can get around the fact that he can't play anywhere else because he has the potential to score a bag load of goals. With Alvarez, you can't do that. He's another one of them players who must fit into the mould of you must be able to play a few different positions, but he's failing to do that. He really is. It doesn't matter if it doesn't suit him. That's what he is. That's what he's going to have to be. And if he can't do that, then he's not really going to play too much, and he's not very useful to us. I thought, again, he was kind of in a half winger, half midfield role. It was just all over the place. I know he came out with an assist, but it was a bit of a hospital pass. It wasn't a great ball to Kovacic. He did well with the finish. Corners, dear me, how many times corners? One of them ended up on the roof of the net. He's putting balls into Rosette. Taking extra touches when he doesn't need to. Maybe that's a confidence thing because he's kind of not really playing the best at the moment. So maybe that's just a whole contributing factor of him not pulling the trigger, checking back on himself. It's just to do with the fact that he's not confident because he's not scoring. He's not scoring because he's not confident. The two are interchangeable, intertwinable, whatever you want to say. So just another opportunity that he just hasn't taken. Same thing with Nunes. His opportunities don't come very often, which is why I cut him a little bit of slack today. I don't think he was that bad. I really don't think he was that bad today. But the mistake at the end cost us a clean sheet. Kind of inexcusable. You can't be losing the ball on the edge of your own box, especially just because you've taken a heavy first touch. That's something that he needs to work on, clearly. But he's not doing his chances well of getting another opportunity by doing things like that. Again, I don't think it was bad. I thought he was quite dangerous going forward. In terms of, linking up well on the right-hand side, getting to the byline and trying to cut things back. Like, that was, something that not a lot of other players in our squad do. So, again, a useful tool to have. But the mistake was just, again, inexcusable. You can't be giving the ball away in the edge of your box with a hairy touch. You can't be doing that. It's again, he hasn't played much football, so I'll cut him a bit of slack. But it's not really an excuse because, you're not going to get these opportunities if you keep doing things like that. You need to be ready to take these opportunities. So maybe slight negatives, but in terms of, the overall performance, it was pretty good. It was very, very simple. Luton barely did anything. They sat in a back 10. We scored 5, padded the goal difference a little bit. Haaland got a goal, which is what I wanted before Madrid. De Bruyne looked like he basically had a point to prove. He was playing like, he was playing like he had something there. So, listen, all in all, good performance, good result. So, listen, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the player ratings. Who was your man of the match? Let me know all that in the comments down below. Leave a like on the video on your way out. It'd be massively appreciated. And subscribe if you are new. We'll be live tomorrow. Probably a late night chat to discuss what happens in the Arsenal and Liverpool games because that affects the title race. Maybe touching on Madrid because that is next. But that's all from me. Thanks very much for watching. And I'll see you tomorrow night for a live stream.